Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. In this occasion, we would like to explain our presentation about cell planning. We have in our group, we have 3 students. The first is Muhammad Fikri, the second is Rihadatul Aisy, and the third is Siswa Sidik. What are we going to learn today? The first is introduction, yearly introduction about cell planning. The second is cell about cell types. The third is step cell planning, explain the step. The fourth is cell planning process, describe the process. Introduction. Cell planning can be described as all the activities involved in the first, selecting the site for the radio equipment. The second, selecting the radio equipment. The third, configuring the radio equipment. Every cellular network requires cell planning in order to provide adequate coverage and call quality. Cell. There are two main types of cell. The first, omnidirectional cell. An omnidirectional cell or omnicell is served by a BTS with an antenna which transmits equally in all directions 360 degrees. The second, sector cell. A sector cell is the area of coverage from an antenna which transmits in a given direction only. The next presentation will be explained with Rihadatul Aisy.
Okay, cell planning process. The major activities involved in cell planning process are shown below. Figure 1, cell planning process. They are divided into system growth and initial planning, system design to implementation, system planning to start traffic and coverage and analysis, to nominal cell plan, to survey, and back to system design. Step 1. Traffic and coverage analysis. Cell planning begins with traffic and coverage analysis. The analysis should produce information about the geographical area and the expected capacity or traffic load. The types of data collected are cost, capacity, coverage, grade of service, available frequencies, speed quality, and the last system growth capability. Step 2. Nominal cell plan includes a predictions package which provides coverage predictions, composite coverage synthesis, co-channel interferences predictions, adjacent channel interference predictions. Radio propagations. In reality, hexagon are extreme simplified models of radio coverage patterns because radio propagation is highly dependent on terrain on other factors. Frequency reuse. Frequency reuse means that two radio channels within the same network can use exactly the same pair of frequencies, provided that there is a sufficient geographical distance or the frequency reuse distance between them, so they will not interfere with each other. The tighter frequency reuse plan, the greater the capacity potential of the network. Interference. Cellular networks are more often limited by problems caused by interference rather than by signal strength problems. There are two basic types of interference. One, co-channel interference, and last, adjacent channel interference. The next will be explained by Muhammad Fikri. For the place, I invite.
Next, clusters. A cluster is a group of cells in which all available frequencies have been used once and only once. Next. Step 3. Surveys. Site surveys. Site surveys are performed for all proposed site location. The following must be checked for each site: exact location, space for equipment, including antennas, cable runs, power facilities, contract with site owner. Radio measurement. Radio measurements are performed to adjust the parameter used in the planning tool to reality. That is, adjustments are made to meet the specific site, climate, and terrain requirements. Step 4. System design. Once the planning parameters have been adjusted to match the actual measurement, dimension of the BSC, TRC, and MSC, or VLR, can be adjusted, and the final cell plan produced. As the name implies, this plan can then be used for system installation. New coverage and interference prediction are run at this stage, resulting in the cell design data, or CDD, document containing cell parameters for each cell. Step 5 and 6. System implementation and tuning. Once the system has been installed, it is continuously monitored to determine how well it meets demand. This is called system tuning. It involves checking that the final cell plan was implemented successfully, evaluating customer complaints, checking that the network performance is acceptable, changing parameters, and taking other measurements if necessary. Step 7. System growth or change. Cell planning is an ongoing process. If the network needs to be expanded because of an increase in traffic or because of a change in the environment, e.g. a new building, then the operator must perform the cell planning process again, starting with a new traffic and coverage analysis. Maybe that's all we can explain. Thank you very much for your time and attention. We hope that our explanation can be useful for all of us. We apologize for the shortcomings. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.